Welcome back, guys. If you are just joining us, this is INX Prime Live. Remember, we are on your screens every single Monday to Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, drag racing and spinning is quite a unique South African motorsport that began in the townships and spread to the rest of the world. Now, South African spinners are respected around the world with the launch of a Netflix reality show on drifters. The appointment of Sports, Art and Culture Minister Gayton McKenzie sparked more interest in the sport when he vowed to make it a national sport. Now, we are chatting to Mohsin Khan, who is from SNM Motorsport, and he will explain to us how spinning has become the fastest growing motorsport in South Africa. Assalamu alaikum, Mohsin, and welcome to INX Prime Live.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you, brother?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're doing well as well.
Alhamdulillah, shukran.
That's great. I mean, this is a very important conversation. We're seeing it trending on social media platforms. Everyone's speaking about it. Everyone is saying that Gayton's first wish when he becomes, while he's now going to become the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, is that he wants to make spinning a national sport. Now, could you please give us a background to this motorsport and its journey to the mainstream?
So basically, spinning has started in the Kasi, right, in the locations. So back in the day, it was like one or two guys coming in to the Kasi spinning, purely not for showing off, but for entertainment, to entertain the guys of the Kasi, the kids and the communities, because we got a lot of underprivileged kids and communities in the Kasi. So that's where it started. And seeing that as a kid of the Kasi growing up, every kid of the Kasi wants to grow up to be a spinner. So based on from then till now, that's why I don't blame it for being the fastest growing sport in South Africa and being one of the best sports in South Africa for us South Africans.
Yeah, I mean, we're just looking at some visuals right now. It looks very interesting. It looks like there's a lot of skill involved. It looks like a lot of fun as well. But we are going to chat about some of the comments that Gayton made, in another interview that I think I definitely want to get your opinion on. But let's just talk about the legality of it. Now, in 2011, it became legal, but there are still some terms and conditions to it, right? Could you please outline some of them?
So spinning used to happen in the streets on every corner. And what they have done is they have taken it off the streets and legalized it to a certain extent by giving us a proper venue to perform these kind of shows. Obviously, with a lot of safety measures and so off the streets and into proper venues, and that's where it is now.
Yeah, so let's actually look at those comments. So Gayton did say, when he becomes sports minister, first thing he's going to do is spinning. We heard that. We saw all of the comments and everyone's very excited for that. But let's go a little bit further than that. He came in to say that, if they create the right platforms, like you did mention, the right tracks, and everything is done correctly, encouraging spinning in South Africa as a national sport is going to automatically or indirectly then reduce the options of or opportunity for young people to use drug use, for example, a lot, or to maybe perhaps also use a lot of alcohol. What's your thoughts on that?
So I agree with him 100%. Right? Spinning is a skill. Not just anybody can jump in a car and spin. It takes a special skill to do this dance. And if you look at in South Africa, we have youngsters from as young as 12 years old that are spinning, right? And you know what? I think he's doing the correct thing, because in South Africa, that's what we know. We know spinning, and if you ask a lot of guys, they'll tell you spinning is life. So we are all with him, and if he wants to make this national, we got him.
No, without a doubt. And it does sound very exciting. And I'm glad that we're actually seeing more sports, becoming or getting recognized as national sports in South Africa. The more sports we have, the better. I just want to touch on South Africans in general, though, right? Now, we know that, firstly, there's a lot of great opportunities in the sport, but we also have some of the champions in South Africa when it comes to spinning. But where do you think it can go in terms of the sport, not only as a sport, but also in the entertainment industry? I know there was a Netflix show that happened very recently about spinning in South Africa as well.
Yeah, so in terms of the entertainment industry, it can take us quite far because already on Netflix there is a show regarding spinning, and one of our own female spinners from local, if I'm not mistaken, is Eldorado Park, Stacey Lee. She was even featured by Charlize Theron. I mean,
Wow.
who here in South Africa can say I have been featured by a certain celebrity? So it will take you quite far, and I don't see why it can't be a sport as Super Drift or your Polo Cup Challenge. Why can't we have a proper spin event where people from across the board come and partake in it and we have a spin off?
No, without a doubt. And I mean, just looking at some of the other comments he made as well, and I think having a Minister of Sport that's very animated and shares a lot of content is always a good thing. He was saying that, and we did speak about it a little bit earlier in the show, he was saying that his cousins normally ask him for money, right? But normally you'd expect that people that are young and in different environments would ask for money for various different things. And some of it would be, to, for example, do bad things like drug abuse or whatever. But he says his cousins only ask him for money because they need to, develop their car, add more things to their cars. So we know that, it is actually an exciting sport, but it could also be quite expensive. Do you see a gap for sponsorship to associate their brands with this motorsport in particular?
Yes, so there is quite a number of guys that sponsor the spinning industry, especially like fitment centers. And on its same note, it benefits them as well. Like you get an ordinary guy that will attend the spin show and he'll hear how brilliant this E30 is sounding and is branded by the certain fitment center. And next morning he's there. No, I want my car sounding like that specific car that he's seen over the weekend. So there is gap for sponsorships. I think everybody just needs to take two steps forward and get this thing going.
Yeah, we are getting questions coming in from social media as well as some comments as well. We got a comment, well, more of a question from Ronaldo. Ronaldo was saying, where can people go to see some of the men and women in action, at least in Gauteng?
Yeah, so that is very simple. We've got on a Wednesday night is the Rock Raceway. There's people doing some drifting and spinning there. On a Friday and a Thursday night, you can go to Wheels and Smoke in Alberton, and that's where all the action happens. And on a Sunday, we have Fikey's Place, just here outside Randfontein. So that's the three places where it happens throughout the week.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I mean, just touching on another question that we are getting in from social media. We do have a question coming in from Dumi. Dumi was asking, on average, how long does it actually take for someone to learn the skill of spinning? So if they do go through, for example, lessons and practice quite a lot, how long will it take before they could actually perform in events?
So that just depends on how motivated you are as a self-individual, because it can take you a week, it can take you months, it can take you years. Obviously, it's a lot of work. It's not just jumping a car and going around in circles. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of stunts to perform. So your basic spinning of normal circles and figure eights and up and downs, yeah, give yourself a month and you should be good to go.
No, it's very, very exciting. We're looking at another sport that's becoming quite popular in South Africa, and I'm sure Gayton will also spend some time developing it as well because of the popularity and also the engagement of it. And that's obviously paddle in South Africa. A lot of people are, creating all these different courts, and we have all these apps, and everyone's getting onto the bandwagon of paddle. I mean, it's great for cardio, it's good for people to socialize, so it's a win-win situation for everyone. But we saw such a huge growth of paddle very quickly. If, for example, spinning does actually get introduced the way that Gayton said it would on a national level, do you think it would take a similar kind of a jump in that sense as what you would have seen with paddle?
Yes, it would.
Okay, but I mean, just looking at some of the reasons though, like if you're looking at spinning as well, it is social, I can see that, but there is also a sense of the danger aspect of it that, maybe perhaps paddle doesn't have. What's your thoughts on safety when it comes to spinning?
Look, when it comes to safety, you just got to be responsible. You got to be mature enough. If you see a car is spinning, there is barriers. Stand behind the barrier. Do not enter the spin pitch while the car is performing. Do not try and run and jump onto the car while the car is in motion. Keep your safe distance, and everything should be fine because you can get hurt in pedal and you can get hurt in spin.
That's very, very true. Mohsin, thank you so much for joining us tonight on INX Prime Live.
Thank you.
Guys, that is Mohsin Khan, who is from SNM Motors in particular, just sharing with us, a little bit more about this whole idea of spinning becoming a national sport. And that's all because Gayton went out and said that the first thing he's going to do when he becomes Minister of Sport is to nationalize spinning in South Africa. Now, on that note, we are going to take a quick ad break. We'll come right back.